We have only joint assets, joint income. We don't have joint bank accounts, joint credit cards. We just really don't have anything separate. We don't have any prenuptial agreements or anything like that. It's all the same. The money comes in, it gets deposited by wire in a bank account for both of us. It doesn't even go through my hands or hers. So how could we wind up different? I always think in terms of assets and income, and it's the same for both of us, and that should determine your credit worthiness. But that's not how it turned out.
I mean, my credit limit was 10% of what my husband's was. I just kind of laughed because I was like, it was so low I could barely buy a phone or a plane ticket, and I buy all of his plane tickets. So I was like, we're going to have to use some other card, even though that Apple Card's my favorite card to use.
We love the card for a lot of reasons. Very simple to use. We don't have to have 5 different cards for different types of purchases and complicate our lives. But it's really a good card for its benefits. It was just sort of a surprise. Why would we get different credit limits? Maybe some accident happened.
Basically, I had called into Goldman Sachs like a couple times, and they told me that they could reevaluate it in 6 months. But when I called, they contacted me after this stuff aired, and I talked to a gentleman today who said that they are reanalyzing my credit score. So I have a feeling it'll be based off of both of our numbers rather than some number from I don't know how many years ago, maybe before we were married.
So I don't really get totally upset about it. Like I said, I didn't come out when Janet got her low credit limit months ago. I didn't try to espouse anything, you know. It was just a post by somebody else, by Mr. Hansen, and I said, oh, we've got a similar situation. I was adding it sort of as a little humorous, you know, little point adding on, but it was sort of an amplification.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.